finally. But I see this because it's not the scheduled link. And I don't know how to find you all in the other chats. But I'm going to try and send a link to the other chat that might have been happening. Oh, okay, here we go. All right. If you're here, if anybody's here, can you make a comment just so that I know you're here? Just type in a comment. I'm really sorry about all the technology difficulties. You can't just like hit the button and go live. Yay! Paraguay, Gerardo, thank you. You're one person that's joined. If you have technical skills, can you let the other people know that we're actually streaming here? Oh, excellent. We got somebody else here. I don't know if you guys came over from the failed live stream that was happening where you were just chatting amongst yourselves, but I wasn't involved. Or if you just happen to be seeing this going live right now. If you were on the other live that was supposed to happen, hey Brad, how are you? I recognize you. If you were on the other live that was supposed to happen, and if you have technology skills, can you post this link in that live? I would really, really appreciate it. Hey, Tom, that's cool. You're going to be coming to Panama April 15th, tax day. Hopefully you're getting a refund and get to spend that money here. Stimulate the economy. Excellent. So I'm going to just give a few minutes because there were some people who were waiting so patiently on the other live stream that I could not figure out the technology. But if you have any questions specifically about house sitting, I do have some that people emailed me, and then I'll kind of formally go into what I was going to talk about with house sitting and how I've been house sitting. Ooh, tax day is extended till May 15th. Nice, good to know because I'm always late with filing my taxes. And my cousin's been doing them for me for, I guess, a year now. I don't know, I just always want to like avoid and, just avoid taxes, avoid tax day. Okay, so you guys are my technical support right now. So if you can, please copy the link wherever you're watching this from, the link, and then just paste it somewhere. Maybe you can paste it in the other streaming that was supposed to be happening. And I'm going to try and do that one more time. And okay. So one of the questions I got from someone about house sitting is, do I feel safe by myself as a woman to pet sit in a house and not a condo? And I think I probably would have said no when I first moved to Panama. I would have wanted to have been in a condo. But now, after being in the country for a year and a half, I absolutely feel safe being in a house. Of course, I take precautions. And some homes will have the security bars on the windows, and some of them might have alarm systems. One place where I house sat had a cattle prod, just in case I needed to use that. So I think, when I first moved here, like anything, you're in a new environment, totally new country, and you hear about things happening. Of course, there's crime here, and there are some, they're not I guess technically they are home invasions, right? Like somebody hops a wall and they come grab all your stuff. Um, but they're not as common as other countries. And you kind of have to get a sense of the area. So, like in Coronado, Panama, for example, there are places that just seem to be a little bit more prone to crime activity. Um, and I also had taken a brief self defense class when I was in an RV on an RV trip going across the United States. In Arizona, I did a self defense class that was really helpful. And I have Mace, and oh my god, a Facebook feed is working. I don't want that to be happening. um, oh, good. You mean YouTube? Thank you, Brad. You're my tech support. So I have Mace, and you can also use wasp spray or bear spray. Bear spray was something I carried with me across, my trip in the RV trip. So there's creative ways to, feel safe and secure. But all the houses I've house sat at, I feel totally fine, and I feel fine in a condo too. Another question, how much do you get paid for house sitting? It depends. So most of the house sits, it's kind of expected that it's just an exchange. You're getting this lovely place to stay for free, and someone is getting, pet care and house care for free. So it's an exchange. I've heard of some people that have someone take care of their house, and they want the house sitter to pay for electricity, or any other expense that might come up. My house sits, I've either been paid for a short-term house sit and pet sit that was over Christmas, and I had also been renting a place already. So I did get paid for a Christmas pet sit. It was short-term, maybe 8 days or so. The longer term house sits generally are going to be just an exchange. And the ones that I've done, I pay to replace the propane tanks because I'm using that, right? It's a resource that I'm using. And generally the homeowner has, covered the electricity, though in the hotter areas, I've probably used a little more electricity, and I offer the homeowner, I'm totally willing to pay for that electricity if there's like a surge because I've been using it more. So I'm going to answer one more question that I got in email, and then I'll go into like the details. And if somebody came over here from the failed live stream, can you just make a comment in the comments that you migrated over here? Okay, so another question was, if I'm coming from outside of Panama, do I need a visa? So for that, you would want to check the Panama Embassy. There's embassyofpanama.org, because different countries will have different specifications on, what you might need to enter the country. From the United States, when I was visiting, you don't need any kind of visa. You're just allowed to stay here for, I think it's 3 months. You want to make sure that your passport has 3 months left on it. If you show up at, customs, or not customs, but, when you show up at the country, oh, excellent. Will, thank you so much. You migrated here. You have to have 3 months left on your passport, or you might not be let into the country. So you want to make sure that you have that. And so you'll find a list of requirements on that PanamaEmbassy.org website. Okay. Thanks, Will, for confirming that. I'm hoping that other people migrated over here from the failed miserably technology problems, and I'm really sorry about that. It's my first live. And I want to thank you so much for being my first 500 subscribers. I really, really appreciate it. I identify as a writer who started doing these YouTube videos, and as a writer or an artist, if any of you are creative souls and putting your work out into the world, that it can be a little bit tiresome when you don't get response, right? When you're just like putting it out, you're just creating and creating, but there's not a lot of engagement. So I started doing the YouTube videos, and it takes time and effort, right, to put them together. And there was a learning curve, certainly. And there were some weeks where I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, does anybody really even care? Nobody's watching, right? Except my family and friends. And then I started seeing subscriber notifications. So then I felt obligated, like, oh my God, I got to put something together because people are, they're interested. They're signing up. So thank you very much, because that actually inspires me to, produce more of the videos. And I really enjoy it too. I really enjoy putting them together. Sorry about sometimes the audio quality. I know someone said that I was blasting their eardrums out because I wasn't like normalizing or equalizing the audio. So with that said, let's dive into some Panama house sitting. I've got like a nice page of notes here that I made. So I kind of unexpectedly became a house sitter in Panama. When I moved here, the intention was to buy a condo at Royal Palm in Gorgona, but that was contingent upon my house selling in California, which it did not. So I didn't have the money. So I had to back out of that deal, lost a little bit of money on that, and then was like, okay, what's my plan B? I hadn't planned on not having a home. Everything was in my storage unit in Gorgona. And so I got a small apartment that was about $500 a month in Coronado. It's the Ibiza Apartments. It's an older building, but it was inexpensive, and it was like a block from the ocean. It's kind of near Coronado Bay, right across from Luna Rosa. So that was perfect for what I needed. And then I got one pet sit because I'd been meeting people and just kind of like spreading the word, like, oh, I think I'm interested in, house sitting or pet sitting. And then my first one, somebody contacted me. And then from there, it was just word of mouth. So you want to, first of all, I'd recommend like preparing in your home country for pet sitting or house sitting. If you're thinking of, moving here, getting residency, and that you'd want to be house sitting, prepare while you're home. So what I did was when I was doing my RV trip, I pet sat for a bunch of relatives. I took care of a lot of dogs. And then I had a friend, I was taking care of her house that was in a construction stage. So the security was, an important issue for them. So I just got experience taking care of, my relatives' pets, and anyone that I could kind of find along my travels on my RV trip. I would definitely recommend signing up for one of the services like Trusted House Sitters or Mind My House. They are websites where you can find pet sits and house sits in a lot of different countries. Panama doesn't seem to be high on the list in Trusted House Sitters. I've seen very few listings on there. But it's a good way to establish yourself with credibility, right? You can create a profile so you can talk about, your own pets or, when you've had them or other pets that you've taken care of. You can post pictures and you get to post your profile. You can also ask for um, to get testimonials. So any relatives or friends that you've done any pet sitting for or house sitting, you send them a link through those sites, like whether it's Mind My House or Trusted House Sitters. You send them a link asking for a review, and that review will be posted on your profile on the site. So even if you don't get a booking through there, like I've been listed on there, but I haven't actually gotten a booking through there, it just helps establish your credibility. And let's see, there's groups on Facebook for house sitters.